Dear Rentals Club members, today I'm with our very own Uvika Wahi. She's not only the head of content on our in community on Rentals Club, but she's also a rising expert in our domain. She went to the VITUR conference. VITUR is a big conference that happened in Malaga, Spain, a couple of days ago, and she's sharing with us her takeaways. Without further ado, Uvika, how are you?
Hi, Thibault. I'm well. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Pretty good. Um, as I said, so you went to this conference called VITUR in Malaga. So for people who don't know what this conference is like, so how was it?
It was great. It was a two-day conference with some pre-conference events as well. There was a lot of focus on education and learning about industry trends during the conference itself, but also networking within the industry. I saw that attendance was hundreds of people attended and a lot of opportunities to learn what direction the industry is taking right now. And it was definitely an educational experience.
So, and how fun was it, or how special was it with other conferences? Like, for example, I think there was like a special setup, like quite unique from other vacation rental conferences with the apartment or living future. Can you chime in on that?
Yes, absolutely. There was a fantastic installation, which I think I think that was a very good idea to put it together for people to be able to see and experience what smart homes would look like, as well as, for example, services like Cave, which allow you to furnish your short-term rentals no matter how many you have. Quite conveniently and quickly. So this was a good demonstration of all the services that you could make use of if you are trying to expand your business or even getting started in short-term rentals. Either way, there was something for you to help things happen more efficiently and quickly.
Good. And how many people were there? What was it like?
As I said, there were hundreds of people and it was great to meet with industry peers, although perhaps not as many property managers that we would have expected to see. But yeah, all major industry experts were there and service providers, and it was interesting to meet all of them too.
Okay, so as some property managers probably were not able to attend this event in Spain, let's go through your own takeaways so people don't have this fear of missing out. Thanks to Rental Scale Up. So what's your first takeaway from the event?
Well, of course, we've been talking about this on Rental Scale Up, and this has been general chatter in the industry, the rapid growth of the industry, especially in the last year and a half, well, now 2 years almost. Vacation rental industry has experienced exponential growth. So obviously with that kind of growth, challenges are bound to manifest. And these are good challenges because they indicate further growth. For example, one of the things that is one of the challenges that the industry is facing is the presence of qualified workforce, which works on two levels. There's obviously qualified workforce for industry service providers, people who understand revenue management, tech, etc. And we have organizations and institutions like Astro, Alter School in Spain, and AJ Letelier to address this need to educate and train these people. But on the other hand, there's also this lack of qualified workforce for property managers for example, cleaning services, which is always a cause of concern among property managers and owners alike. I don't really see a lot of effort being concentrated on this particular aspect. I think it does require more attention. But then there are also service providers like Doin, which is a housekeeping platform and based out of Spain, and they insist on working with only certified professional cleaning services, which is, I think, an example everybody could follow.
So yeah, so exactly your point, right? You have this growth, but also labor shortage, and we also noticed this in the US, right? It's like a labor shortage goes from cleaners to revenue managers. So, and with a few solutions that you mentioned to that, that's interesting to see these solutions. What's your second takeaway from the conference?
The second takeaway was there's this call for maintaining consistency in the level of guest experience we offer as short-term rental providers, because I think as an industry, we're doing a great job at increasing the level of service that we provide, but there does need to be a standard across the board that could be followed to help manage guest expectations better as well. I think there's opportunity to do that by looking at what franchisees like Marriott are doing, since they've entered the vacation rental market, what they are asking for, and perhaps emulate that in your own offerings, in your own level of service, if not join them outright. And also, here's an opportunity if you've been looking, for example, if you're a property property management company, and you've been looking for an exit strategy, you have the opportunity to join larger companies, because it is easier for larger companies to pool their resources to develop tech that delivers, and also all the other operational aspects of running a larger business. So you do have that choice as well. And of course, if you need assistance if you need assistance in navigating acquisition of your business, we can help you with that at Rental Scale Up as well.
Yes, exactly. It's a very good point, right? That's also why we're launching a couple of weeks from now our own private network, right? To make sure we help people in the industry understand the trends and get some tips from other property managers, or for some vendors who actually know things from what's happening on the ground. And it can be topics, as we talked about, like leveling up your game in terms of services, as well as thinking about acquisition or standards. Another thing, what's your third takeaway from the conference?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the network, because my third takeaway definitely does sort of meld into that, because there is a definite need for the industry to collaborate among themselves to participate in the making of rules and regulations around around short-term rentals in different markets, because short-term rental regulations are in a bit of a disarray right now in some markets, which does restrict you from taking full advantage of things that you could be taking care of. For example, in Scotland, as Fiona Campbell, who's the chief executive of the Scotland Association for Self-Catering Businesses, she was quick to point out that they had a bit of a difficult time making use of this influx of digital nomads in the industry who wanted to rent short-term rentals, simply because if you wanted to book a short-term rental in Scotland for over a month, it automatically qualified you as a long-term tenant, and you needed a long-term tenant contract, which is a whole other ball of challenges. And my point is that since regulations like these are still in the process of being fully formulated, and we have the opportunity to kind of participate and help in this forming of them. And for example, one of the ways we could do that is, and this is especially relevant for European property managers and short-term rental industry professionals, is to perhaps express their opinion and respond to the European Union's call for opinions in their effort to simplify short-term rental regulations across Europe. So it's super simple to do. And for those who haven't found the time to do it, this is going to be one of the first undertaking for us through our private network. We will help create we'll create a comprehensive sort of comprehensive opinion, and we'll put together these various opinions to create a document that expresses the needs of short-term rental industry in Europe, and what we need, how may we contribute to creating regulations that actually benefit us.
Cool. Well, thanks, Uvika. That's a pretty good overview of the event. Any shout out, anybody you want to mention for the event?
I definitely want to thank Carlos Perez-Lanzac for putting the event together. I think he did a great job bringing everybody together and also creating a program that helped, you know, helped us educate ourselves and also prepare ourselves for the future. And I want to thank also all the representatives from various short-term rental associations. For example, there was from Greece, Scotland, as I mentioned, the UK, Merely Carr, for being present and also sharing the challenges their markets are facing and how they relate to other markets and how they're dealing with these challenges, providing ideas to others to follow through as well.
Cool. Uvika, thank you.
Well, thank you, Thibault, and it was a pleasure to do this.